If you're a Gen Xer and you have thoughts of, didn't we do all this stuff with my parents in the 60s? Or if you're even younger and wondering, aren't these all the things that Rosa Parks sort of fought to not do? It's because these new things are all too familiar, especially the new urban chaos sort of thought process we're getting from President Trump and his takeover of Washington, D.C. specifically, and just the in general use of federalized police forces to govern small localities and states. The takeover of D.C. by both the police force and deployment of National Guard troops reflecting a longstanding pattern of portraying major black progress as an issue because cities that are more dangerous tends to be ones that have more melanin, if you will. Civil rights leaders warned that the echoes racist narratives from Nixon's law and order appeals to Reagan's crime era policies as well. Trump exercised an emergency authority under what's called the Home Rule Act, and he's federalizing D.C.'s police, basically putting them in charge of him or Pam Bondi, I guess, raising fears over democratic erosion. Critics argue the move is less about safety. The talk about violent crime is still significantly down in D.C., but as I said in the earlier thing, your mileage may vary where you are, may not seem like it, but it's really all about political posturing in theory all around. Activists and organizations such as ACLU warn that potential civil rights violations are going to happen, and they're prepping for that. April Gogans, who's an organizer in D.C., printed out some information that points out a precedent set back in the 2020 protests in D.C., where federal forces were used to respond to racial injustice demonstrations. Those didn't turn out very well in the PR sentiment, and right now we're looking at part two. Scholars note that efforts to villainize cities with diverse populations, framing them as inherently unsafe, serves as a dog whistle for politicians. Essentially, it's a way to gin up your base and get them riled up to do something like vote out the diversity in the cities. Such narratives reinforce stereotypes and justify aggressive tactics under the guise of public safety. It means something when you're beating people down, if you're Elliot Ness taking down the mobsters, but if those mobsters happen to have a little bit of extra color or be a bit disadvantaged, or maybe not doing as much stuff as they're being claimed to do, you have your issues. Having extra police presence would probably deter crime in highly trafficked areas. That would probably make sense. And it demonstrates the response on what's going on. But the fact that Donald Trump is doing enforces some harmful stereotypes about some of the black-led and urban communities, and it just looks like political posturing all around. Federal takeover of D.C. apparently is happening. The mayor of D.C. is going to do what she can to make it not look so terrible, but she's powerless to do much other than just kind of let it roll. It's not about crime control, though. It really is a deeper race-coded history and political thing that's happening. It is. It just is. We can argue about that in the comments, but it really is the fact that one guy started this thing because one guy got attacked in D.C. and we're not happy that happened. But because one guy in the orbit of Donald Trump happened, the entire city is going down. It's not exactly a apples to apples comparison, but it's what's happening. Your thoughts on the takeover of D.C. now, the invasion of D.C. after the invasion of L.A., give it to me in the comments.